An EU army moved a major step closer today as 23 member states signed up to an historic pledge to join forces despite warnings it could undermine NATO. Britain, which is leaving the EU anyway, and Denmark have refused to take part on defence grounds. Poland, currently home to NATO forces guarding Europe's eastern frontier against Russian aggression, signed up at the last moment to Permanent Structured Cooperation, or PESCO. Poland demanded the new organization not be competitive with NATO before signing up to the plan. The agreement is set to be finalized at next month's meeting of EU leaders. EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini, pictured today at the Foreign Affairs Council, described it as a historic moment in European defence as 23 EU nations signed up to joint defence. EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini described it as a historic moment in European defence, and added that 23 member states engaging both on capabilities and on operational steps is something big. Those who did not sign up can join later. Ireland, Portugal and Malta have also not signed up. Ms. Mogherini said countries have already submitted more than 50 joint projects in the fields of defence capabilities and military operations. Britain can take part in some if they are of benefit to the entire EU. Ms. Mogherini said PESCO, backed by the EU Defence Fund, will enable member states to use the economy of scale of Europe and in this manner to fulfill the gap of output that we have. Their signatures are a sign of political will, but the program will only enter force once it has been legally endorsed, probably in December. German Foreign Minister Sigmar Gabriel lauded the agreement as a great step towards self-sufficiency and strengthening the European Union's security and defence policy, really a milestone in European development. Under the cooperation, member countries will submit an action plan outlining their defence aims. UKIP leader Henry Bolton said, "The military intentions of Jean-Claude Juncker are clear: centralised authority and political control over the armed forces and defence expenditure of EU member states. Under no circumstances must the UK to enter such a scheme. The UK must preserve its own, full-spectrum and sovereign military capabilities free from external control. Whilst we will cooperate with and support our friends and allies to ensure collective security, we must protect the integrity of the NATO alliance and our own ability to defend ourselves." NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg attended today's meeting of EU foreign ministers, pictured. Ms. Mogherini, EU military chiefs and the European Defence Agency will then evaluate whether the plans are being respected. Those not living up to their commitments could be kicked out of the group. EU officials insist this is not just bureaucratic cooperation, but real investment that will help develop Europe's defence industry and spur research and development in military capabilities that the bloc needs most. Ms. Mogherini said the move would complement NATO's security aims. The EU, she said, has tools to fight hybrid warfare, the use of conventional weapons mixed with things such as propaganda and cyber attacks, that the military alliance does not have at its disposal.